What's up, everybody? I've been meaning to make this video for a very long time. Just never, I guess, felt the need to do it. But now, yeah, I can't. I gotta say something about this shit, man. All right, um, so you got you got the age-old question: is what is the function of the scholar in times of war? And me specifically speaking, from what I've seen from the quote unquote conscious community, um, it appears that our scholars, especially the older ones, they're uh, they're trying to act like soldiers. They're trying to act like warriors. They're grandstanding like warriors. They seem to be trying to embody that spirit, and they need to stay in their lane. That's not their lane. They need to stick with the info. They need to tone down the rhetoric of trying to be confrontational to people with contradictory or differentiating ideas and doctrines. They need to tone that down because if we're just gonna keep it a buck here, um, we don't we don't want them to be on the lines of the battlefield. Like we'll lose. Um, they, they're all talk, number one, and number two, they're not really in that good a shape. And this ain't a shot at anybody at the Amin Ra squad or any of those dudes, because I really respect the scholarship. I do. Y'all are really on point with your scholarship. I don't agree with everything y'all say. I do think there are a few things that are a bit Eurocentric, but overall, I know that y'all ain't trying. That's not your intention. I know y'all really want to get down to the truth, and I respect the methodology in which you derive your information from. But it's not your place to be in the forefront, acting like you're a warrior or whatever, because y'all not. Y'all are not, and you need to stop fronting, because we need to leave that to the real soldiers out there, the boys who's really about that life. Okay. Everybody has their place within this paradigm, and the scholar's position in the paradigm is not of the warrior. So I would just humbly ask our scholars out there, don't want to name too many names, but Unc, Reggie, our kemetic scholars, especially Shaka. Um, just tone the rhetoric down a little, just a little bit. I know y'all excited. I know y'all really worked hard and read a lot of books to get to where you are. I know that you've been doing this for a while, but I gotta tone it down. Y'all getting real disrespectful. Don't get me twisted. I don't even subscribe to doctrines like that. Shit, I don't even care too much. People talk shit about the alkaline lifestyle, or Mama Pill or Sebi or Enki or any of those dudes. I mean, those are the ones I resonate with closer. But I'm not gonna catch feelings if somebody quote unquote slanders them, because I already know that their body of work stands on the results that they've brought, for me personally and for other people. So I don't even bother getting upset about that. I know what works and I know what doesn't. There's no point in me going there. But my whole point in saying this is, in the time period that we're in right now, where it just seems like it's an all-out war, and you got the people looking from the outside trying to say that we're crazy for believing that there's all-out war when we know that to be fact. We know that to be fact. There's all-out war here. And I mean, people want to say light-skinned brothers need to fall back, not try to be in the forefront. I'm cool with that. I co-sign that. Why not? I mean, are we doing this to help people, or are we doing it for the ego thing? I got no problem taking a step back. I don't need to be in the forefront. I'm not doing this for the glory. I'm doing this for the future of our children. Okay? That's what I care about. I don't give a fuck about the glory, the ego. I mean, yeah, that's nice because, you get the women and the fame and whatever, it's cool. But that's not what's driving me. At the end of the day, I know that I'm not taking that shit with me when I leave this realm. So I don't give a fuck. I'm cool with going in the background. I don't care. I'm here to help. Don't care. But my whole point of saying, talking about the scholars is not so much. I mean, yeah, the disrespect is bad because we're banging on each other over some stupid shit when we need to be uniting. And I understand, the information you feel needs to be correct and exact. But in the situation that we are in right now, the scholars need to tone down that war rhetoric. That's not y'all lane. I can't stress it enough. It's not y'all lane. Stay with the research, okay? And what actually needs to be going on is our scholars need to be researching the enemy and gathering intelligence because this is a war. All right, we need our brains to be gathering intelligence on the enemy, not circle jerking, grandstanding, and fucking sizing up each other on some academic bullshit. All right, we can't do that. We don't have time to do that. All right. It's like I don't remember exactly what the Buddhist proverb is, but basically it goes like, dude gets shot with the arrow. All right. And the whole time he got shot with the arrow, he's asking, who shot me? What is this arrow made out of? What is this wood made out of? He's asking all these questions. And he dies. Because instead of taking the arrow out and tending to his wounds, he's sitting there asking all these questions that, I mean, at the end of the day are kind of irrelevant. Like, yeah, you're curious to know, like, who shot you, what the arrow is made out of, and all this stuff, but you don't have time to be asking these questions. You got an arrow in you. You got to take it out. So that's kind of like, that's my analogy for the situation as kind of in present day. We can't be intellectually masturbating each other, on some OD homo shit while we're at war. It's just not practical. Not saying that you shouldn't, the scholars, I'm not saying stop the debates. I'm not saying any of that shit. I'm not hating on any of the money that's being made. I think that's great. I think that's great for black economics. I think those do need to continue, but they cannot be the focus. They can't be the focus of what we're seeing. There's not enough soldiers and proactive activists being shown on these media platforms. At least from what I've seen, we've seen a lot of egotistical circle jerking. That's what it comes down to. Yet, watching yet another person get killed by the police, watching the gear up for the inevitable race war, watching the gear up towards all of these different types of wars being mounted against us. The GMO foods, okay. That's another thing these scholars never talk about, man. They don't give a fuck about health. I mean, look at them. Do they look like they give a fuck about health? No, they don't. They don't. And that's a problem because health is a big thing. Now, whether people want to talk about or the vegan lifestyle, whatever, I mean, I know it works for me, but I'm not going to go force other people to do it. But we can't be eating the fried chicken and drinking the alcohol. Like, come on, man. I think we can all make that consensus that fried chicken and alcohol do not belong. They don't belong. We can't be doing that. They don't fucking belong. But I mean, the scholars want to live how the scholars want to live. All right? But for too long I've been seeing this, and I really had to say something because um, whether I even I agree with most of the information that these scholars are bringing, but I feel like they're causing more harm than good because they're not doing their job, not in the capacity they need to be doing it in. They're trying to be something that they're not because they do see that there's a lack of that. There is a lack of, charismatic vocal leaders who are, they're willing to, pick up that strap and put in that work if it needs to be. I do not for one second think that Unc or Reggie or anybody in the Amon Ra squad would hold it down if shit had to get down to that. All right. I'm sorry. My faith ain't there for y'all. All right. I've seen enough of your, little debate tactics to know y'all gonna get shook. All right. Not saying exactly that I'm a scholar or that exactly I'm a warrior. All right. I'm me. I'm here to put in the work that I got to put in whatever capacity that is. I'm not here to try and outreach my lane. I'm not here to try to undermine nobody. All right. I don't do this for ego. I don't care about that. All right. If liberation comes and nobody even knows I was involved, cool. I don't care because I don't do this for notoriety. I do this because it's necessary for the future, for not just, you know, black and brown people and indigenous people, but for the earth as a whole. And I mean, not saying that I'm out here to save white people or anything, because, I kind of don't give a fuck about that, but it'll benefit them too. All right. If there's liberation, it'll benefit them too. Maybe not in the way that the average white person wants, but I mean, it's beneficial for everybody if there's liberation of black and brown people. It needs to happen. All right. And we're not going to get there with the scholars being the forefront soldiers. That's not how it's done. That's actually a sign that your community, your society has been compromised and is on the downfall. Because, that's how all these other ancient civilizations fell too. The military either decided to take over everything, or the people who were fighting in the military had no business fighting in it, and they were soft, effeminized. Basically they got the scholars to do the fighting because they didn't have no more soldiers, and those scholars got wiped out. And once that happens, right, then who's going to teach the youth? That's how you start a dark age. When the scholars become the soldiers, that's how you start a dark age. Think about that. When you put the scholars on the front lines for battle, that's how you start a dark age. Because who the hell is going to teach the children? All right. These scholars need to specifically stick to the youth, and I'm talking about like the youth. I'm talking like nobody older than the age of 15. All right. From a kid's age is about 7 to 14. Yeah, y'all got that. After that, fall back. Y'all don't need to be coming debating, grown ass men about their doctrines, because, like I said, at this point in time, it does not matter who has the correct doctrine, because we're in a time of war and there's an arrow in us. So instead of asking who shot us and what metal was this made in, what factory was made in, why did they shoot me? Okay, no, stop asking these questions. Take the fucking arrow out and tend to your wounds. Okay? Because if we keep asking all these quote unquote deep philosophical questions, we try to get to the bottom of who or where we came from, You know, as far as it goes on a source level, on like what originated humanity, let's not push that in the forefront. Okay, we can have those debates in the background. We can have those in the background. They are not conducive to solving the issues of today, which is why now I understand why so many people are getting fucking tired of this shit. Like, yo, when are y'all gonna come with an actual solution to liberate people? Debating about the evolution theory is like asking who shot me. All right, you don't got time to be asking who shot you. You need to take the arrow out and tend to the wound. We don't have time to be asking all these questions. And mind you, we would like to know, but then the question again comes, exactly how important is it to know? All right. So what if I know that the Nubians were the first people to use antibiotics 200 years ago? The fuck does that going to fix my situation? That, what am I gonna go on Jeopardy and say that? No, no, that doesn't help. Now, it's interesting knowledge, and I appreciate that gem, but that does not help me fix my situation. Does not help me fix my brother's situation. Does not help me fix my sister's situation. Not help me fix my mother's situation. Doesn't help fix any of these situations. It just wastes fucking time. And you can go to the youth with that. Like, I'm talking about the young youth. All right. Because once we hit like 15 or whatever, no, man. You need to be teaching strategy. Strategy. Who's teaching strategy here? Who's teaching how to, you know, code switch in the society? You know, I hear these kemetic scholars talk about we need science and technology to lead us out of this. What science and technology are y'all bringing to the forefront? What science and technology y'all bringing to the forefront? What inventions are y'all bringing to the forefront that's going to liberate people? I'm curious. I'm curious because all y'all do is go look back into history. Y'all historians. You know, y'all do great work. I'm not saying that y'all information is incorrect. I'm not saying that I disagree with your information. I'm just letting you know the information is obsolete in this time. We don't need to know this shit. We don't. It's not conducive to fixing anything. We can learn about that shit later when we're not in a time of war. Okay? Because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant in this time. Our kids still don't know the right foods to eat. They don't know how to properly filter the water. They don't know how to get themselves out of a jam with the police. They don't know how to talk themselves out of that. They don't, you know, they don't know how to shoot firearms properly. They don't know how to properly legally obtain firearms. You know, there's all these things. They don't know how to grow food. They don't know how to computer program. That's what I'm trying to be here for. That's why I'm busting my ass doing this shit. Because somebody needs to do something. They talking all this nice shit about science and technology, but they're not applying it. They're not applying it in a practical solution. And that's what I'm here trying to do. All right? And am I at a capacity to do it at the level that I want? Not yet. But that's what every day is here for. You gotta grow. But I'm not gonna, pretend like somebody being right and exact on the evolution theory is gonna bring liberation, or even knowing what the pyramids were originally used for. Like, that's nice. That's nice and cool to know. Like, it's intriguing. But how does that help us in this situation? Doesn't. Like, Kemet is a marvelous civilization. One of the greatest civilizations, if not the greatest civilization that we can see with our own eyes. That's still standing today. But so what? So fucking what? Is loving Kemet gonna liberate us? Not entirely, all right? Yeah, having the self-love and knowing that you can do this and that you're the originator of all this stuff is important. But we that's just one block. And y'all keep talking about kindergarten. Y'all keep talking about all these Hebrews and all these people keep like getting stuck in kindergarten. Y'all fucking stuck in kindergarten, all right? Because y'all can't get past the stage of circle jerking each other. Y'all have yet to get to the stage of practically applying the sciences and teaching the children the technology to liberate themselves. You have not translated it yet. You've not made that transition yet. You're still stuck in egotistical circle jerk mode. Mental, intellectual masturbation. Y'all still stuck on that shit. And it's detrimental to the community. And I had to say something. I'm sorry. I love y'all. Y'all my brothers. I really appreciate what y'all do for the community. But please stay in y'all lane. Because you know damn well, the National Guard comes right down the street and someone starts throwing you the guns. What y'all gonna do? Huh? I'm sure y'all know how to shoot them shits. I'm sure. It looks like Ung been, he used to be about that life. But you got the balls to go up and size up the National Guard like that? Knowing damn well you might not make it out. You got the balls to do that? Stop acting like it. All right? Stop grandstanding like you're the warrior class. Cause y'all not. All right? I'm just saying it's dangerous, all right? It's just a bad idea. It's gonna lead to a dark age. We can't put our scholars in the front lines, all right? We gotta put our warriors in the front lines. Cause now we got it backwards. We got warriors trying to be scholars, we got scholars trying to be warriors. We gotta fix that. All right? I know we got a few warrior scholars out there. Shout out to young Pharaoh. He one of the few exceptions. But still, man. We each have our own lane in this situation, this little matrix. And I got y'all, yo. It is, I ain't gonna lie, it is a detriment to make it seem like only light skinned, brown skinned people, is being vocal. 'Cause that is a bad look. But I don't care about the fame or none of that shit. So I have no problem falling back if need be. But I do agree with that sentiment, man. Not saying that, light skin should shut up. I'm just saying encourage your dark skinned brothers too. And if that means that you gotta fall back, fall back. We all gotta help each other, man. It's gotta be conducive. But peace out, y'all. Scholars, stay in y'all fucking lane. Seriously.